Good morning, 6 o'clock on this Monday. White Rock City workers will begin withdrawing services today at all City Work sites. A number of buildings will be behind picket lines today, including the City Works Yard, City Hall, White Rock Community Center, Centennial Arena, and the Kent Street Activity Center. The full-scale strike follows 3 days of rotating strikes, including 2 last week. Those shut down garbage and recycling collection as well as road work. Employees are looking for consistent scheduling practices and long-term disability benefits. 2 lost hikers are safe and sound this morning after being rescued off Burke Mountain in Coquitlam last night. The call came in at around 10 o'clock. 2 hikers were lost in the Dennett Lake area of Burke Mountain, and it took more than a dozen search and rescue team members to pull both of them to safety. The hikers were able to call for help with their cell phones. They were cold and tired, but otherwise uninjured. The search continues this morning for 3 young men after a canoe capsized over the weekend at Slocan Lake in the West Kootenays. A 19-year-old woman from New Denver died in the accident. RCMP say aerial, dive, and boat crews will scour the lake for the 3 men. Some quick work by Burnaby firefighters knocked down a 2-alarm blaze on Edmonds Avenue. It's believed the fire spread through the walls of a barbershop late yesterday afternoon. The cause is being investigated. No one was hurt. A 4-year-old boy from Vancouver is being cared for by friends and family this morning. He's lost both of his parents in what appears to be another tragic case of domestic violence. A weekend manhunt ended yesterday afternoon in Gladstone Park off East Kent near the Fraser River. The body of a 31-year-old murder suspect was spotted hanging from a tree after an apparent suicide. The man was the prime suspect in the murder of his 27-year-old ex-wife. Her body was found Saturday at a house on East 41st Avenue and Rupert Street. Police have been to the home for domestic issues in the past. In 2011, an assault charge was laid against the man.
I can tell you it's a problem. There's no doubt about it. Our officers go to hundreds of domestic violence calls every year. We do what we can. This was a situation in 2011 where charges were laid. But as you can tell from this situation and others recently, it's still a real concern.
This is the 4th murder of a woman that appears to be tied to domestic violence in the last month and a half in British Columbia. In an emergency, you want help to arrive fast. 33 local governments have now come together to officially announce concerns over response times by ambulances in our province. The Lower Mainland municipalities say since changes in response protocol at BC Ambulance, service is too slow and putting patients at risk. BC Emergency Health Services says on average, response times to serious incidents have dropped by 1 minute. But in non-serious cases, wait times have gone up by 6 minutes. The ambulance service recently downgraded its response to 39 types of calls, dropping them from emergency to routine, saying that would ensure the most severe cases get priority. This year's Mother's Day wasn't just a cause for celebration. In Burnaby, the occasion was used to highlight challenges facing single moms.
Who are we?
Hey,
what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Families rallied against the provincial policy that prevents mothers from keeping welfare and disability payments if they also get child support from former partners. They also displayed the unhealthy food they're often forced to feed their kids, and they had some tough talk for the Premier and her Families First agenda.
March 30th, 2013. This one, March 21st, 2013. You know how long soup sits on a shelf to begin with. But now I should feed my son year-old soup, expired soup, because I'm poor?
Some women, like the one you just heard from, say they've stayed in abusive relationships strictly for the extra financial support it provides their children. People who live in Metro Vancouver now have many more shopping and eating options. Vancouver's 2 largest farmers markets opened over the weekend at Trout Lake on Saturday and yesterday at the Kits Community Centre. The event features dozens of vendors, all from BC. Aside from fresh produce, they're also selling meat, cheese, seafood, plants, and baked goods.
It's the contact for urban folks who want to know where their food comes from, who want to support local agriculture, who are worried about issues like the agricultural land reserve, about organic food, about genetically modified food. They can talk to the farmers, they can talk to the producers, they can learn as well as shop.
For information on the farmers market closest to you, visit bcfarmersmarket.org.